I brought up my brother's premature birth at Christmas dinner to get my parents to shut up, so my parents have been on my case about everything lately. I'm 23, still living at home while I save up money, and they act like I'm some kind of failure because I don't have my life figured out yet. My dad keeps making these comments about how when he was my age, he already had a house and was married. My mom constantly compares me to my older brother Jake, who's apparently the golden child because he's got this fancy job in accounting and just bought a condo. This Christmas was supposed to be nice, you know? Just family dinner, maybe watch a movie after. But no, within like 10 minutes of sitting down to eat, they started in on me again. My Aunt Carol was there too, which made it worse because now they had an audience. So when are you going to get a real job? My dad asked, cutting into his ham. This part-time thing at the coffee shop isn't going to cut it forever. I tried to change the subject, but my mom jumped in. Jake was already promoted twice by the time he was your age. Maybe you should ask him for advice. Jake just sat there looking uncomfortable, pushing mashed potatoes around his plate. He's actually pretty cool and never makes me feel bad about stuff, but my parents love using him as a weapon against me. Then my Aunt Carol decided to pile on. Well, some people mature faster than others. Jake was always ahead of the curve, even as a baby. That's when my mom nodded and said, "Oh yes, Jake was so eager to get here. He came 2 weeks early, couldn't wait to meet the world." And that's when something clicked in my brain. See, I've always been good with math, and I'd done the calculations before, but never really thought about it. Jake's birthday is March 15th. My parents' wedding anniversary is June 20th. If Jake was born 2 weeks early, that would put his conception around mid-June the year before. But here's the thing. My parents got married on June 20th. So either Jake was conceived on their honeymoon, which would make him born in March but not premature, or he was conceived before they got married, and they've been lying about the premature thing for 25 years. I looked around the table at all these people lecturing me about responsibility and maturity, and I just snapped. "Wait, hold up," I said, putting down my fork. "Jake's birthday is March 15th, right? And you guys got married June 20th? My mom's face went a little pale. "Yes. Why?" "Well, if Jake was 2 weeks premature, that means he was conceived around June 15th, but you got married June 20th. The table went dead quiet. You could hear the clock ticking in the kitchen. My dad stopped chewing. Aunt Carol's eyes went wide. "So either Jake wasn't premature," I continued, "or you guys were getting busy before the wedding, which is fine, by the way, but maybe don't lecture me about being responsible when you couldn't even wait until after your own wedding." Jake started choking on his water. My mom's mouth was opening and closing like a fish. My dad just stared at his plate. "I mean, it's basic math," I said. 9 months back from March 15th is June 15th. Add 2 weeks for being early and you get June 29th. But you got married June 20th. So unless Jake has some kind of time travel abilities, somebody's not telling the truth here. Aunt Carol cleared her throat and suddenly remembered she needed to check on the pie in the kitchen. My mom got up and started aggressively clearing plates that still had food on them. My dad just sat there looking like he wanted to disappear into the floor. Jake finally broke the silence. "Well, this explains why I was never good at math. Apparently numbers just run differently in our family. I almost lost it. My brother was making jokes while our parents were having a complete meltdown over basic arithmetic. My mom came back from the kitchen and sat down. "Well," she said, not making eye contact with anyone, "maybe we were confused about the dates." "Confused about conception?" I asked. "Mom, that's not like forgetting where you put your keys." My dad finally spoke up. All right. So maybe Jake wasn't technically premature. People make mistakes with dates." 25 years of mistakes?" I said. The rest of dinner was pretty quiet. My parents didn't bring up my